Welcome back to the Boneyard Podcast, everybody. This is your host, Jared Shepard, along with my good friend,
Artemis Broward.
We're coming to you this week with episode 267. 267. Artemis, how's it going, man?
We're good, brother. We're good. We are, 3 days from Christmas. It's Christmas time. It is Christmas season. About to be off of work here in the next couple of days for the rest of the week, so it's gonna be fun. And we're good, brother. We're good. How about yourself?
I'm good. I'll tell you this right now. I'm out of work until January 5th. Your boy's out. Put up the
January 5th.
Put up that email. Yeah.
How the hell? Just like a damn winter break, bro. What are you in school? How the hell do you pull that off?
I mean, it pays to work for a company that takes care of its employees, and I had a bunch of PTO left over, and I was like, hey, let's just throw it at the last week. But now my company gives us the week off between Christmas and New Year's, and so we don't go back until January 5th. Just so happens that's how some years it's January 2nd, some years it's January 5th.
Nice.
So,
nice.
We could have, I guess technically we could have gone back the 2nd, but I don't think anybody was like wanting to work on a Friday.
Yeah, that doesn't really make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense.
Let's start it back up the next business week.
Yep. So your boy is out until January 5th. I'm trying to get some golf in. If you're in the Winston-Salem area, hit me up. Down to play some golf over the next 2.5 weeks. So
you're done.
All right. Artemis.
Yes.
Episode 267. Let's go ahead and get it out of the way. 6-7.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna mention it, so I mean, you brought it up. I was not. I don't entertain it. I just don't. I don't entertain the trends, the TikTok.
The only time I've ever done the 6-7 is on this podcast.
Yeah.
I still don't really know exactly what it is.
I'm at a point in life where I can actually I don't have to pretend to care about these things anymore. I can just not care. I'm over 30 now. I don't care. I don't care about these trends. I don't care.
You don't care?
I don't care. I'm not up with the times, and I love it. I don't care.
I feel that. All right, Artie. Episode 267 of the Boneyard Podcast, brought to you by Roback. I got my Roback on. I'm wearing black. It feels like I'm at a. If you listen to this show on Spotify, Apple, wherever, you'll hear in the intro. You'll hear me say, "I got my sunglasses on, like I'm at a funeral." I'm wearing black tonight because it feels like over the last 2 weeks, we've been attending a funeral for what has been ECU football over the last year and a half. So pour one out for the homies. And yeah. Artie, episode 267, brought to you by Roback. Boneyard 20% off Roback.com. Your first order at Roback.com. Get it. You can get one of these quarter zips. I got the polo. I got the hoodie. Love wearing that hoodie. I would be wearing that right now, but I took it out of the wash this afternoon, so it's still drying. So I love that thing. It's the best thing that I own. Boneyard 20. Roback.
Yeah, the Roback gear is phenomenal.
Episode 267. You got a 67 for me?
I do have a 67. My 67 is personal. It is actually near and dear to my heart. It's not the TikTok trend. It's actually not even a player. It has nothing to do with sports whatsoever. Even though this guy did wrestle, it was a very good wrestler. He wrestled actually in college for 3 years. He wrestled in college, but that is none other than one Artemis Randall Brower the first. I'm going with Pops at 67. He was born October 11th, 1967. So I'm going with Pops for my 67 this week. The OG, the original gangster, the first Artemis, and obviously the whole reason why I'm here. So going with good old Pops for 67, and he did wrestle A&T, and was a
I love that. I can't see your dad as a wrestler. Maybe
you got to see the old look before. There's a story. My dad worked at Krispy Kreme. That's when he put on the weight when he started working at Krispy Kreme. But 90s dad would look more like my brother and myself, but like stockier and just tall and stocky and all of muscle.
Already, I got news for you, man. There's not much about you that looks like your dad.
If you look closely, if you pay attention.
I don't know. The first time I met Artie's dad, I thought Artie owed
He's a ginormous dude. He's a big guy, but he was not always that big. He was a lot slimmer.
Artie's over here like 5'9", 5'10" on a good day, and
yeah, my dad's a full 6'3".
This man walks up banging on our door, saying there's Artemis here, and I said, "This guy used his government name. Let me go check." I was like, "Artie, there's a guy out here that." Do I need to cover for you? Turns out it was Artie's dad. All 6'3" of them. Probably. I mean, he's about 3 times your size. Like he's
easily. Yeah, I mean, he's one of the biggest guys I know. I don't know.
Lighter skin, and I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
I never met him, and that was the first time. Love Artemis the first. Great dude. All right, Artie. Let's get into my 67 real quick. Max Pacioretty, Carolina Hurricanes legend.
Love it.
If you know, you know. All right. Where do we start? What's first up on the docket? Men's basketball getting shell-shocked. There's a reason so many of y'all are watching us instead of watching ECU basketball right now. Getting absolutely run out the building. Right now, 57-28 with just over 15 and a half minutes. I'm sure my app's behind left in the game. Not pretty so far, and it's about exactly what we expected it to be. So, ECU is currently down 57-28. Carolina started on an 8-2 run here in the second half. So, yeah, that's happening in Chapel Hill. ECU did have two decent wins over the last week and a half where we weren't recording. Beat Buffalo, a magical comeback win against Buffalo, a team that was 9-1 at the time, to beat Buffalo, and then took it to the Blue Hose of Presbyterian. So, but Artie, that's not what we're talking about tonight. Let's talk about, you want to start with the good or the bad first?
You don't want the bad first.
All right, the good. ECU has hired an offensive coordinator.
And he hits me with the good.
Wait, I thought you said you didn't want the bad first.
No, I want the bad first. I want you to go ahead, do the bad.
The bad. ECU doesn't have anybody on offense except for Mike Wright. Mike Wright might play all 11 positions in the Military Bowl. Like, if you see Mike Wright out there lined up at left tackle, do not be surprised in the Military Bowl. Playing tight end.
Mike Wright is obviously the Swiss Army knife we use all season. So if we see a lot of Mike Wright on Saturday,
this is going to be the Mike Wright Bowl.
I'm honestly all for that. Just Mike Wright take over. Just have yourself a day. Ride off into the sunset as MVP of the Military Bowl. Like I'm with that.
Mike Wright drops back, tosses it downfield. Mike Wright catches it to the 20, the 10, touchdown. 37-yard Mike Wright touchdown to Mike Wright.
Like if I could get a Mike Wright receiving touchdown, rushing touchdown, passing touchdown, and a Mike Wright interception in this game, I can die a happy person. I can die a happy man. Just let me get all
that. Touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and a receiving touchdown.
All three. Let me get all three.
That would be. I would love to see a prop bet on that.
and just sprinkle in a late game Mike Wright interception for good measure.
Kick return touchdown.
Something like that. Just sprinkle one of those other.
Could you imagine a guy score? I mean, that's absolutely insane. But no, Caden Hauser in the transfer portal. Out of all the ones that have entered so far, that's maybe the most surprising to me.
Really?
I figured Yannick would probably be gone. Figured when JDB hit the road down to Ole Miss, I figured Javante Connor would be gone again. And then I mean London Montgomery. I don't know if he's officially announced it yet, but he's entering the portal and he's going to sit out the bowl game. So I mean, you've basically lost your entire offense.
Yeah, I mean, I figured because of the uncertainty going forward that once JDB exited, then okay, Caton kind of makes sense. Obviously, you hold off hope because it's his offense. He's been there 2 years. You come back next year, he's going to have full grasp, full reign of it, and really kind of it's his thing going forward. But I mean, that's just the state of modern college football. He put together a good season. He's going to now be able to enter the portal and go wherever I wouldn't say wherever he wants, but somewhere I guess that's desirable for him to maybe where he can get a starting position in a P4 program. But I felt like once JDB left, it kind of made sense that Caton was going to put his name in that.
I just don't know where he's going to go. You have so many of the top end quarterbacks in the portal right now that like I don't know where he's going to go. He's not in the upper echelon of portal quarterbacks right now.
Yeah,
he's just not.
I mean, he's going to get picked up by somebody, and he's going to get a shot because he did have a good season and he had a good year. But I think you do come back if I'm Caton just because of what you had at East. I mean, it was your offense. It was yours.
He's the top 15 transfer quarterback right now on 24/7. Like he technically is out of the. I think it's like 160 something that are in. So I mean, he technically is actually like one of the prize guys.
Start at a P4 program. He's going to have that.
He's going to go.
Whether it's back to Michigan State or it's a Wisconsin or it's
Yeah, I mean Michigan State's
Virginia.
Need a quarterback. Should we just do a quarterback trade like Tennessee and UCLA did?
For who?
I don't even know who Michigan State's guy was.
Aiden Childs.
It's a joke, Josh, but
okay, good. I was confused.
No, it's a joke, but. Still, it's one of those things that I mean, I don't think he's going. He's not going somewhere that's going to be. I don't think he's going to a top 25 program.
He's not going to like the schools I just mentioned. He's going to go somewhere it's a P4 program that's still in a rebuild, but he's going to have an opportunity to play and start at a P4 program.
Does he follow? No. They got Underwood. I was thinking maybe Michigan.
Yeah, we're straight up there.
Y'all got more problems than.
Yeah, quarterback not one though.
I mean, he could pull the ultimate heel. Is CJ Bailey? Is he already in? No, I have a feeling he's going to be in.
I don't
not
think he's
leaving.
leaving ECU to go to NC State. And Kate
He's
wants
not.
to-
He's not leaving.
He's not.
I don't think so. I think everything's worked out for him. I think he's staying at NC State.
No Hollywood entered. I mean, I don't see him. Maybe a place like Carolina or Virginia Tech or somewhere like that. But
Gio
What,
already
Josh?
locked back in. Gio already locked back in at UNC, dude.
Gio's not
the
a
shit
sure
with the
thing.
portal
I mean,
is
you
so
can-
hard to keep up with. Who's going? Who's staying?
Gio's locked in. Gio's
Gio's not
locked
a
in.
sure thing. If you can get something better than Gio, you'll take it.
With Bobby Petrino, Gio is Heisman candidate right now.
That's news.
with
That's
Bobby
different
Petrino.
news in itself. The fact that Bobby Petrino is going to be joining Bill Belichick's staff at Carolina. They really need to do that documentary now.
I mean, look, it's a big name, but I mean, I'm not like, oh wow, that's gonna create fireworks. Bobby Petrino can make it work in Arkansas.
I mean, it's not that. I don't know. I don't know where this guy's going to go. I don't see him going somewhere that was going to put him in a better position for him to make a career out of being a footballer. Maybe I'm wrong. I just don't see it. We'll have to see how it all plays out.
Yeah.
Like I said, London Montgomery, I think he'll get picked up, but I don't think it's going to be – I don't think any of the guys in the portal outside of JC, I don't know that it's going to be like they're going somewhere and becoming the dude. Yannick could maybe do some things, but he's got to clean up. There's some things that he has to clean up, and one of them is, just the way he plays. He's got to clean up his attitude a little bit.
Yeah,
you can't be going somewhere and taking all these unsportsmanlike penalties when you're trying to win a national championship. And look, he almost went to Carolina last year, and then we paid him, and then he stayed, and now he's leaving. So who knows? I don't know. It is unfortunate that this is happening, but we'll be all right. There's some dudes in the portal that we can spend the money that we were going to spend on Hauser. We can go get somebody else. Maybe somebody even aligned or close to the same skill set as Caden. Who knows?
This is life as a G5 program in 2025. That's just what this is. You have to grow and adapt.
Well, Artie, we'll get to the good news here in a little bit. We're talking about the offensive coordinator being hired. Let's go ahead and set our sights on what's to come later this week. And I'm not talking about Santa Claus. I'm talking about our Military Bowl opponent, the Pittsburgh Panthers. We got David and Squid joining us on the Boneyard podcast from the Loyal Sons podcast. How's it going, guys?
Going good. How you boys doing?
Doing well.
If you just listened to the last 15 minutes of us, I called it. I said I was wearing black because I was at a funeral. So,
For who?
For ECU, the ECU offense. If y'all are betting guys, I'm just gonna say, take the under.
I had heard tale, and I admittedly know extremely little about this ECU football team. I was hoping you guys might be able to enlighten us a little bit. That's part of why we're here, so we can learn a little bit about the opponent. But if there's one thing I think Squid and I do know is we saw the portal has not necessarily been kind, the coaching carousel, all of the things that if you want to be competitive in a bowl game, you certainly don't want to see happen. So I imagine that's kind of what you're alluding to.
Yeah, I mean, we're going into the bowl game, no coordinator or no offensive coordinator, no defensive coordinator, at least not the ones that we had throughout the year. No quarterback. Found out one of our top running backs is gone today. Top tight end gone. Number 2 wide receiver in the heir apparent to be the wide receiver 1 next year gone. So that's where we're at. So, defensive coordinator goes to USF. Now, he wasn't the guy really calling the shots on defense. That's still our head coach doing that. So I don't think you're going to see much change on the defense. But on the offensive side of the ball, your offensive coordinator's gone, and a lot of your key players are gone. So we'll see what you're going to hear the name Mike Wright. Get real used to hearing that name. You're going to hear that name a lot. That's ours, as Artie called him earlier, our Swiss Army knife.
Army knife. Yeah.
He's punted this year, played quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and returned kickoffs. So,
I love that.
As Pitt fans, that worries us because we're a year removed from Syracuse beating us with a tight end playing quarterback.
Well,
how dare you, Squid?
He's also played cornerback at times. So he's got an interception. The dude's done it all. So that's a name you'll hear, and he's the fastest guy on the team. So that got actual track speed. So it'll be interesting to see how they use him. But yeah, talk to us, guys. I mean, I know that early on when this bowl game was announced, the Pittsburgh fans were kind of like, we deserve a better bowl than this. And I think a lot of ECU fans maybe felt the same way, and maybe a different case. We played in this bowl game last year and won it. Talk to us about where the mindset is going into this weekend, and has the vibes changed around Pittsburgh at all?
I think Pitt fans are sort of used to being snubbed in the whole bowl process. Like some years when we do deserve a good bowl, they're picking someone else because the perception, it might be kind of accurate, is the Pitt fan base doesn't travel as well as some of the other bigger brands. I think part of it might be we've been in the Military Bowl before and we got absolutely boat raced by Navy. So there's some negative connotation with the name Military Bowl. So maybe people just don't want to bring back those memories. But
Keenan Reynolds
on Twitter. We saw that on Twitter. The Pitt fans weren't too happy about it. Unlike the voice of the fan base, maybe, David and I at least agreed that bowl games are bowl games. Let's just show up and win. Hopefully our team has all of our guys and we can just tally one more win. So we were a little bit worried about ECU maybe 2 weeks ago, whenever it got announced. But since then, we've been feeling a little bit more confident. So that's kind of where we're at now.
Yeah, to kind of expand on Squid's point, I kind of think that every modern bowl game, every bowl game in the 12-team playoff era, and maybe even the 14 playoff era, kind of exists in a vacuum where the game has to be judged on the very specific particulars surrounding it. How many opt-outs were there? How much is left of the roster and the coaching staff of this team? Because the portal's likely already opened up, or the coaching carousels grabbed a couple guys. Maybe, their season fell off a cliff and they had a team had playoff expectations that fell off completely, and so they're down in the dumps. Either way, I think every matchup needs to be looked at individually to see if it's going to be worth anything. And I think above all, the result of a bowl game can be bent to fit your narrative one way or another, no matter what. So honestly, it didn't matter to the two of us and to our third co-host, Dylan, who sends his regards, couldn't make it this afternoon. We just wanted to win a football game. And if we beat ECU, it'd be the same to us as if we ended up in the Pop-Tarts Bowl with BYU and beat them, and that might be hyperbolic a little bit, but if we can win a game and ignore maybe the fact that we did play a group of four school that was down its entire offensive roster, we don't care. That's our 9th win, and that fits the propaganda. And that is what we at the Loyal Sons are all about, is propaganda.
Hey, I mean, you and the rest of the P4, right?
Right.
That's not a shot at y'all. That's a shot at the P2 that in their talking points. No, you're exactly right. I mean, these are 2 8-4 teams, right? If you win this game, nobody's going to say, "Oh, yeah, it was just a team that didn't have their coordinators, didn't have their entire offense." This was a 9-win football team. I mean, Pitt being in the ACC, maybe you're receiving votes or starting in the top 25 next year because you were a 9-win team this year, right? Mm-hmm. That's just how it works and how it plays. ECU, on the other hand, like we're sitting here, yeah, we were trying to get to a 9th win. I'm not holding my breath. If so I better call a paramedic because I might be waiting a while. Overall, like, talk to me. It seems like, I mean, and this is coming from someone that admittedly hasn't watched a ton of Pitt football this year. Seems like it's a pretty balanced team, and especially on offense. What's going on with Pitt?
Squid, I'll field this one. So about 4 games in, we were 2-2. We had just lost to West Virginia, which is about the worst thing that can happen in a Pitt season. A horrible West Virginia team too. We were 2-2. Things were looking bad. We actually had an episode titled Fire Narduzzi after that week 4 because we were done with everything. And then maybe it was to save his own ass, but Narduzzi comes out and says, true freshman Mason Heinschel from around Toledo, Ohio is going to start this week. And then everything changed. Mason Heinschel, to say he has been a revelation for the Pitt Panthers would be an understatement. He is a 18-year-old. He was at his, senior prom, not even this time last year, like I guess in 4 months this time next year. That I'm not really good at time and space, but this kid shows up out of nowhere, supplants our $1.5 million quarterback, and all of a sudden the offense is clicking. And this is a team that up until pretty much the last week or so of the season had a path to the college football playoff. And it was, there are a lot of guys who have contributed and a lot of names we'll say, but if there's one thing you need to know about this Pitt season, it's that Mason Heinschel saved a lot of people their jobs.
Yeah,
Squid, would you concur?
Oh, absolutely. I know we thought this was a lost season, and we didn't know what Narduzzi would do. We thought we'd just roll with Holstein throughout the rest of the year. We'd probably make a bowl game, but maybe not. It was not even a sure thing we'd get to a bowl game, and then flip the switch. Mason Heinschel takes over, and the sky's the limit. So the offense has been one of the best in college football, even when you include us kind of getting stomped on by Notre Dame and Miami. Every other game, we've been putting up close to 40 points. So the offense is explosive. We've gotten better at running the ball throughout the year. Early on, it was an afterthought. So at this point, I think we feel pretty good about most things offensively. Defense is a staple, but with Mason Heinschel under center, we feel like we can be in any game.
Except for the ones against top 10 teams.
Yes.
Jay, you got something?
No, I was going to let you, Artie.
Okay. No, I know we talked about the opt-outs and the transfers for ECU earlier, but I did want to ask, as far as Pitt, how is the roster looking? Is everything basically, or everybody basically all bought in? Roster still intact? How is this roster looking going into the bowl game? And what does make Pitt dangerous going into this bowl game? What are the things that make you guys tick?
Yeah, something nice about this bowl season is this is about as good as you can ask a overall team to be once bowl season happens. Coordinators are here. Our defensive coordinator is going to be retiring after the bowl game, so it'll be his last hurrah. Offensive
Allegedly.
coordinator still here. Allegedly, sure.
Is that alleged or did that come out yet?
I saw a tweet today. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Good.
Irregardless, all the starters are playing who are healthy. We have Kyle Lewis opting out on defense, who is, in our opinions, one of the best linebackers in the ACC, if not the best linebacker. He missed a few games, so his counting stats weren't as high as they've been, or they could have been, so he didn't get as much recognition. But he'll be a guy who'll be playing on Sundays next year, and he was going to be watching from a practice facility summer, getting ready for the NFL draft. So outside of him, everyone's playing, and I mean, we feel good. I don't know a whole lot about ECU. I know they won a lot of games and lost some players to the portal, but I feel like our offense should be able to put up a lot of points, and that's what makes us feel dangerous.
And it would be a big morale boost going into next season because our top running back is a freshman, a true freshman, our quarterback's a true freshman, our emergent best corner is a true freshman. There was a bit of a youth revolution this year, and this bowl game gave them the opportunity to practice for an additional month. Retention looks good. We have it on good authority that despite the best efforts of some P2, as you called them, teams, Mason will be in Royal and Gold next year. So this is all about going into next year riding the wave.
Love that for y'all. Well, I mean, seriously, it sounds like y'all are in a place that most college football fans dream of, right? Had a winning season, set to maybe go 9-4 on the season, and then now you've got your true freshman quarterback, true freshman running back coming back, and a lot of the same core coming back. So, no, that's awesome. You talk about the defense. What are they doing that? I mean, granted, this is going to be a completely. I don't even know what to tell you to look for on offense this week, other than Michael Wright.
What number is he?
Is he wearing 0 now? He switched his number mid-season.
Yes,
He's wearing 0.
Yep.
Okay.
So you can't miss him. He's honestly the swaggiest guy on the field. Dude's just out there having a ball. He went to Northwestern and Mississippi State before transferring as a grad senior this year to ECU. He transferred into ECU to be the backup as a grad senior. So, and that's coming from honestly the P2. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he does. And I don't really know what else to say about the offense. What has the defense been doing for Pitt, though, that has worked this season?
Well, it's a Pat Narduzzi defense, so it's going to be heavily reliant on 3 extremely athletic linebackers, trying to get pressure with 4 up front, and then putting your corners on islands in press coverage. Basically, force teams to throw the ball. They are the number one prerogative of a Pat Narduzzi defense is to stop the run. Phase 2, you're forced to throw a little bit. That phase 2 is get after the quarterback. And now we haven't had a true edge rusher in a couple years, and we've produced some pretty decent ones, at least by college standards. Don't necessarily have one of those right now. Jimmy Scott's decent, Jaden Moore's decent, a couple other guys are injured. But if you are looking to keep the ball on the ground as a means of shortening the game, I don't know how much success the Pirates are going to have with that. This is a defense that, at least before getting the crap kicked out of us by Notre Dame, was top 10 in most run defense metrics. Squid, how do you feel?
Yeah, whenever Pitt faces a top quarterback, it makes things difficult. But whenever there's a quarterback that might struggle with getting through his reads fast or making some tough throws after the sideline, I think that's whenever Pat Narduzzi is looking his chops, because he knows they're going to stop the run and try to force a lot of third and longs. And on those third and longs, they're going to send pressure. So it's kind of reverse. Like David said, the defensive line isn't as great at getting to the quarterback as they have been in previous years, but we lack in that department we make up with our linebackers. So Kyle Lewis was like, he's going to play safety in the NFL. He can do it all. But the guy next to him, Rasheem Biles, is another future Sunday guy. I guess if there's one guy we're worried about losing the most, it might be Rasheem Biles, because he's got the measurables. He's a big splash play guy. He's had some incredible pick sixes in his career. He's always in the backfield. So they like to create a lot of chaos, and it starts with the linebackers. And if the linebackers can't get home, the defensive line can't get home, then the corners aren't bad, but in this system,
much is asked
things
of
can
them.
go wrong. So every once in a while,
Yeah.
there'll be some splash plays against this defense, and it's just a matter of like making enough plays, getting enough stops, and hopefully the offense puts up more points. So I think that's our path to success.
Yeah. Now we've got Pitt guys on the podcast, so I got to ask you guys, just because I'm curious. Pat Narduzzi, his comments before the Notre Dame game. Basically, talking about it's not a conference game, don't really care, yada yada yada. Which obviously, I think a lot of that was taken out of context. But I just want to ask, how did Pitt fans, Pitt alumni feel about those comments that Narduzzi said before the Notre Dame game?
So it's bad. It was probably the dumbest thing he's ever said, but he said a lot of dumb things. And
It's
if he really
top 5.
Yeah.
For most
The
coaches,
stiff
that'd be, like, by
competition.
far number one. But for Pat Narduzzi, it's like, man, I kind of understand where you're coming from, but why do you have to say it like that?
Yeah.
So I don't know. We need an Narduzzi translator. So whenever he's up there and says something dumb, he has a little sidekick. He's like, well, actually, he means if we lose this game, our season isn't over. Could he have said it like that? Yes. But he's Pat Narduzzi, so he never says it the right way.
Well, luckily, Pitt has a great, or at least had a great SID in EJ Burgetti, who could kind of act as that translator. He moved on to, he got a promotion within the university, so we have some fresh blood in there trying to be Narduzzi translator. I didn't have a problem with it. I know what he was getting at, but
Yeah.
he's so unmedia trained that he says it in the dumbest way possible. I would not have cared had it not been the week where the most attention was on Pitt football,
Right.
maybe ever in our lifetimes. Game day was coming. Game day was coming to Pittsburgh, and that just went super mega viral, and it just made us look like shit. That's my only problem. If this were a random, like, even a ranked matchup that people cared less about, whatever. Yeah, dudes, send whatever message to the locker room you need to. But the fact that everybody on the planet was watching him show his ass, that was the tough part.
Follow up to that, do you guys think Narduzzi is still the guy going forward? Like, the program is still right under Narduzzi, even after this bowl game? Let's say you win the bowl game, right? Or do you think maybe this has an ending to it somewhere in the near future?
I don't think the end's in the near future. He's signed to 2030. We don't know the exact numbers of his buyout, but understand it's a lot. And like I said, Mason Heinschel saved jobs. I think if Cade Bell sticks around and we see Mason through to when he's hugging Roger Goodell at the NFL draft in 2-3 years, as we now expect he will, Deuce will have a job as long as he wants one. I said 2 years ago, he gets one more OC hire, and then I'm out on him, and kind of nailed this one. So in my mind, he's sticking around until that buyout at least gets a little bit smaller.
I mean, he's been solid. We could go through his career. He's been solid. There's been some highs, there's been some lows, but overall, He's been solid, and he's not going anywhere. But we did talk about it when we were 2-2. We had just lost to Louisville. We blew a 17-0 lead, and the future looked bleak. We were looking at the remaining opponents and thought missing a bowl game was in play, and if that happened, were we just out on Narduzzi? And we talked about how he probably wouldn't happen even if they bottomed out this year just because of his buyout, and you got to give him a shot to like turn the ship around again next year, maybe. But we got to give him credit because he did something that he hadn't done in the past, and that was pull the plug on the quarterback. I don't know if you guys were aware of the Phil Dracovic saga, but he was clearly the worst quarterback in the country, and Pat Narduzzi let him play like half of the season. And then he eventually moved on when the season was already over. So we thought that might happen again. Holstein was fine sometimes, but was clearly not going to get this program to the next level or to where we wanted it to be. And a lot of coaches probably would have stuck with him throughout the year just for NIL reasons, for whatever. But he's like, nope, we're pulling the plug. We're throwing in the freshman, and it's worked. So we got to tip our caps to Pat on that one.
And that's ultimately what got Mike Houston, the former ECU head coach, fired. I mean, trying to roll with two guys. I mean, maybe it's actually the exact opposite. He tried to roll with two guys, and they were both pretty bad at the same time. And then he kept going back to his guy that he thought was supposed to be like the bell cow, and just wasn't. And that guy's the backup at Michigan. Man, nobody fails up to Michigan like Biff Poggi and Jake Garcia. Like in the same year. What a run Michigan's on, man. Artie's a Michigan fan outside of ECU, so I'd like to give him a little extra shit from time to time.
I was too growing up, and then I didn't get into their school, and it's been F Michigan ever since.
That's fair. That's fair. It's not the easiest school to get into, so
they broke.
Are you two local to Pittsburgh?
Yeah, we are both in Pittsburgh, like in the city limits. So born and raised, we went to high school together.
I'll say my in-laws, my wife's grandparents live about 20, 30 minutes outside of Pittsburgh. I know her grandfather's a big Pitt fan, even though his two kids both went to Penn State.
Oh, yeah, he's true then.
Yeah. Shout out them. They're out in Greensburg.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So never been to Pittsburgh, but I've been to Greensburg a couple of times. Need to get up there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it. I'm a fan of Pittsburgh. It's why I've never left.
It's one of those trips where we go up there. We're like, okay, we're here for a day or two. Now, get us home, if you know what I mean. But
sure.
Do you guys go cow tipping out in Greensburg?
No.
Okay. I just couldn't think of another activity one would do.
Church.
Oh, okay. That's something to do too.
Cow tipping?
Church
and cow. Hey, look, don't tempt me with a good time.
Cow tipping. And this is why you should visit Greensburg, Pennsylvania.
I have an ECU question.
Yep.
You guys hate all the other Carolina schools, right?
Yes, for the most part.
Okay, so we have a commonality there. Which is your least favorite of the Carolina schools?
State.
NC State?
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
For sure. Far and away.
I've said this plenty of times. I'll pay for my daughter to go anywhere to school. She tells me, Daddy, I'm going to NC State. Figure it out yourself, kid.
Better learn fast, girl.
No, she knows what the pirate on the hat means, pirate on the chest means. Anytime she sees purple, she says, I say purple, you say gold. We're raising her up right here.
Good for you.
Her mom is a Carolina alum, a UNC alum.
So. Oh, that's. Well, you married a smart one. That's cool. I was hoping you guys would say UNC too, so that we could make fun of the whole Belichick thing together. I felt like that'd be a good common ground. Okay.
Oh yeah, we don't like Chapel Hill either. So,
Okay,
it's
good,
been
good,
over,
good.
It's been over 400 or 4,380 days, I believe, since they beat us in football.
Yeah.
They won't schedule us since we dropped 70 on their ass. They stopped scheduling us.
And I doubt they ever will again because I understand they're the 33rd NFL team, so I don't know why they would even schedule a college team.
I know.
Something like that.
I don't know.
4,300 days. Has Belichick's girlfriend even been alive that long?
I think I looked it up. She was in 6th grade.
I wrote these shoes after 6th grade the last
That's
time. A lot of PDC. Wow.
Oh,
Like I did a when Bill Belichick, when he put out his statement saying that he wasn't actively looking for another job. I don't know if you remember back.
yeah, I remember that
He put out a
lie that
statement.
he
It was on
told.
like
Yeah,
the Jordan letterhead and whatnot. Yeah, we may have photoshopped that and said we haven't beat ECU in 4,000 whatever how many days, and also called out that Jordan was in 6th grade during that. So
that's a good chirp.
yeah, it got enough love. Wish it could have got more, but it was a good one. No, it'll be interesting. Like if Hulu or whoever was doing that, Netflix, whoever was doing that documentary, I'd love to see if they could get Bobby and Bill taking their girlfriends out after picking them up from daycare.
Yes. I could not imagine being a fan of that football team for so many reasons.
They do so much more with they do so much less with so much more. Like so much more. Like they have more money than anybody in the state. The legislature in North Carolina has for so long taken care of them and NC State, but more so Carolina. And they still can't beat App. They still can't beat ECU. They still can't beat James Madison. They can't beat anybody. They beat Charlotte. Congratulations. Like, and that was a closer game than it should have been when Charlotte is the worst team in FBS or second worst team in FBS this year. It doesn't make any sense. They're paying him at the wazoo to be their head coach, and the absolute shitstorm that having her be involved with this program, like I love watching them burn.
It's been really satisfying for us too, because ironically, considering all the teams you just listed that have North Carolina's number, even the shittiest UNC teams used to have Pitt's number. It was like we had a yearly appointment to lose on a Thursday night to like a 2-10 UNC team.
Just frustrating. Yeah.
And then I think Kenny Pickett kind of broke that curse in a hurricane downpour on a Thursday night the year that he had the Heisman stolen from him. So we've kind of been able to get the best of them since then. But it's just been fun to watch, the greatest football coach of all time
It's like, dude, just
lose everything.
Just go right off into the sunset. You don't need to coach. You don't need
an
a
age-appropriate girlfriend.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. I mean, they have what is it, that 50s and up dating website? I used to joke that I was going to sign my mother-in-law up for it back in the day. Like, go get on that site. Hey, get on Christian Mingle, something like that. That's what you need to be, Bill.
He's rich and famous. He can go on Raya.
Look,
It's the one they put all like the Instagram models on.
That's
Just find.
the first for me. I don't even know what Rye is, and so
yeah. Look, we're both married. We don't know what that is. So,
Well, so's David.
I'm also married. I know pop culture, guys. That's what.
We're not calling David out.
No. we still. I don't know if y'all know this is. I don't know if y'all saw this. This is episode 267. So
Jesus.
we talked about the 6-7 earlier.
Oh my god.
Okay.
That's about as much pop culture as I know.
Oh, that's because you have kids.
She's not. She doesn't know that.
Okay.
No.
She's not there yet.
I have 9 nieces and nephews, so when we decorated Christmas cookies, there was just a bunch of like sugar cookies with 6-7 scribbled on them and icing. So I'm in the thick of it. It's coming for you. I guess I'm not in the thick of it. I got to walk away, leave.
Lucky you.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Didn't have to take them home with you.
No, we're stuck on Bluey and Mickey Mouse.
There's some
Nice.
Daniel Tiger in there, little Pittsburgh for you.
Daniel Tiger.
It's a cartoon that takes place in the Mr. Rogers universe. It's delightful.
I just see like somebody carrying their lunch pail, talking about like being a good friend and working for the union, being like a pit-based like kid show.
I do have one random question for you guys because I have also never been to the city of Pittsburgh, so I'm curious. Why should I visit Pittsburgh? I've been all over the country, haven't been to Pittsburgh. Why should I come to Pittsburgh?
Squid, do you have an answer that comes to mind?
I think a lot of people would say it's like a big enough city, but it's not too big or it's not too small. So there's like a lot to do, but it's not one of those giant cities where you feel overwhelmed and too many people and all the touristy nonsense. And I also like how different neighborhoods in Pittsburgh have a lot of different feels. So you can come to Pittsburgh and feel like you're in a lot of different places at once. So there's a lot to do, and it's more diverse than you think with like all the different options of things to go. So I mean, you got the sports, obviously. David and I will both say the food scene here is incredible.
Better than many would expect.
Beautiful city.
You can have a really good time. I will say it's one of the most topographically unique cities in America. No other city is shaped like it, looks like it, built like it. The 3 rivers, the mountains, all the bridges, built into a valley. It's a city that makes an entrance. You'll go through a tunnel on your way in from the airport to downtown, and the city actually makes an appearance. You have no concept of what I'm saying until you actually see it with your own 2 eyes.
Yeah.
It's, I think, breathtaking visually, and there's just neighborhoods built into mountainsides, and it's just, there's no place like it. There's a reason they call it the Paris of the Appalachia.
Love it.
I was going to say, it sounds like a nice West Virginia.
See, you didn't have to do that.
Well, I'll compromise you on this. Pennsylvania may as well be West Virginia with 2 big cities on each side, because everything between is nothing but West Virginia, Kentucky. It's all the same between the Pittsburgh and Philly.
You're not going to find somebody that hates on West Virginia outside of the Pitt fan base more than me.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
That's how all people should feel about them.
Worst state to drive through. If you were driving, it's always raining. Does it ever stop raining there? I don't know.
They deserve it.
It just feels like it's the worst place to ever be.
You are correct. Try going there with a Pitt quarter zip on. See how much you like it then.
Look, I'm somebody. Don't challenge me with a good time. I'm somebody that likes to stir the pot.
He'll do it. Yeah.
Will you be stirring the pot in Annapolis on Saturday?
Unfortunately, we were going to be there. With all the opt-outs, we were just like,
Not worth it.
It might be a sweat.
Not worth the
It
6-hour
might be a
drive, 7-hour drive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Up for
David and I
us.
will be there, but we can't really hold that against you because last year we played in the game above Sports Bowl in Detroit, and we were starting a walk-on quarterback because of all of the quarterback injuries. And we're like, yeah, I don't know how excited we can get about facing Toledo the day after Christmas in Detroit. So that one was not attended. But we were excited that we got Annapolis because, yeah, we talked about like, oh, do we feel slighted by being sent to the Military Bowl as opposed to the Holiday Bowl or the Pinstripe Bowl or whatever? Hey, Annapolis is a cool place, easy drive, so we'll be there. If it was somewhere else, who knows? But the stars
It's one
align
of those
that
things
way.
that, like, especially now ECU has been there. Not the military. I mean, playing at Navy
Right. At Navy.
every couple of years, like
Right.
we've now been able to make a trip to Annapolis the last 3 years.
Pretty experts with that stadium. So
It's like it's hard to stay in Annapolis. You have to stay in DC, then drive. And nobody wants to stay in DC. Talk about an asshole of a place to stay. DC sucks too. So, yeah. Best of luck to y'all. Hope y'all have fun. Enjoy it. Tailgate some for us.
yes.
Are
We'll knock down
are
a.
y'all from the press box, or are y'all going as fans?
Oh, you are too kind to imply that we could get
They gave
that
us
kind
some.
of credential. What the hell, Squid? Reach out to somebody. See if we can do this. No, we're going as fans.
Good for you.
More enjoyable that way, though. Honestly, more enjoyable.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't get as drunk in the press box.
Yeah.
We have a couple buddies who are Pitt beat writers, and we always try to get them a little bit messed up before the noon games, and they won't. No takers. But we'll do it for you.
Do it for us. Send us a video. I want to see somebody shotgunning a Yingling.
Loaf of bread. We can do some icy light.
There you go.
Okay.
There
Pump
you
some
go.
iron.
All right, boys. Appreciate y'all coming on. Best of luck going into the off season. I wish you luck this weekend. Usually I wish it after this weekend, but we'll wish you luck this weekend. Go ahead and tell
Much
everybody where they
appreciated.
can follow you and get your content.
You can find us at the Loyal Sons wherever you get social media.
There you go. David, Squid, appreciate y'all. Best of luck going into the off season, and we'll talk to you again sometime soon.
Absolutely.
Thanks, fellas.
Appreciate you.
Once again, that was David and Squid from the Loyal Sons. Artie,
Yes, sir.
how are we feeling after that?
You know, like I think Squid mentioned, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was actually pretty excited about this bowl game. I was excited about the matchup. I was excited about the players that that would be matching up in this bowl game. Thought that we were going to be keeping some key guys. Look, I know that our O-line is still intact. I know we still got some running backs still there. I know that we still got some guys that can step up and possibly do their thing. As far as Mike Wright, as far as some other guys in that QB room. But I'm gonna be honest. This is an 8-4 Pitt team. They're probably still pretty pissed off that they go to a better bowl game, didn't finish their season better than they could have. This could be a lot to a little. I'm just going to be happy if we compete in this bowl game, to be completely honest with you. Offensive coordinator gone, defensive coordinator gone. This is not the same ECU team that Pitt's going to see that we had in the regular season. So, I don't question if the guys that are there are going to show up and play. I know they're going to show up and play hard. I just don't know if it's going to be good enough. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. I'll say, like you, Artie, I was really excited when this game got announced.
Yeah.
I thought, hey, this is opening up as a 6-point spread. I really like that number for ECU. given all the things that have gone on and transpired over the last 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. I've lost all kind of like, this sounds terrible. And this is part of the reason we didn't record last week. I lost all interest in what might happen. Now I'm interested in who we're going to get in the portal. I'm interested in the coordinator search, and we're doing our due diligence and trying to figure it out as well, just like everybody else is. And I think my brain is kind of already shifted into, all right, let's play this game, get our paycheck, and then head back home and start getting ready for next year.
Start getting ready for next year.
And it can't be a rebuild. It's going to be a replenish and reload to keep any momentum that we've had. And you would rather have to hire a new offensive coordinator. You would really rather have to like bring in new portal guys after your guys left because they did so well. You bring in a new offensive coordinator, he's going to be able to bring in his guys. He's going to be able to bring in his quarterback, the quarterback he wants, the receivers he wants, and hopefully that's what Jordan Davis is going to do. Not to be confused with a country music singer, Jordan Davis. It's a different guy.
Yeah.
Former offensive coordinator at North Texas, had been with Eric Morris. I mean, basically through it all. He's been under Morris basically his entire career. Now the thing with Davis is he's never really called plays. That's always been Eric Morris, kind of like Blake Harrell doing on the defense, calling the defense this past year. So now it's Davis's opportunity to say, hey, this is my offense. I'm going to call the plays like I'm calling it. And kind of break out and get out from underneath Eric Morris.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason he wasn't taken to Oklahoma State. I think he wanted more say in what was going on the offense, and you can't blame him. So now he's going to get his real first opportunity to do that, rather than just having the position in name only and being a glorified wide receivers coach. He's going to do that here at ECU. And really hope to prove himself. Similarly to JDB, right? He wasn't really calling plays at Ole Miss 2 years ago.
That was Lane Kiffin's thing. That was Lane Kiffin.
He wasn't even the offensive coordinator there. He was the co-offensive coordinator at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
There's a lot of similarities between the two, but look. You may say, okay, well, this guy, he played wide receiver. He's never really been a quarterback, never been a quarterback's coach.
But he's really only handled receivers.
But now he's the offensive coordinator.
Right.
But he's done a decent job recruiting, right? He recruited that kid. What is it? Is it Chad Morris? UVA kid, the guy at UVA this past year, transferred from North Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Mestamaker was a walk-on, but we all know how those walk-ons go. Like, they're recruited, they're just not offered a scholarship out of high school. Right. It's not like they just were like, hey, you look like you could throw a football as he was walking through campus.
Baker Mayfield was a walk-on, technically. So
Justin Hardy was a walk-on.
Yeah.
Technically. Like, but bringing in a quarterback, one that fits his system in, and watching some film on his offenses and reading what I have about, I mean, he's been under Eric Morris, who's been one of the greatest minds as on the offensive side of the football for the past decade. They're going to do things. He's going to do things that make throws easier on his quarterback, right? It's not going to be these long downfield throws constantly. You're going to have some of that, but you're going to see a balanced attack, balanced run game, and you're also going to see easier throws that aren't always going to be these tunnel screens to open up the deep ball. We're going to get a little more vertical, but maybe not as deep. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. Now we just got to get a quarterback. From there, you build. Sounds like to me, from where I'm sitting and what I've heard right now, not much is changing on defense. It seems like a lot of the guys that are here are staying, and it sounds like we've got the money to keep the ones we need to retain.
Yeah.
They've seen it. The guys on defense have seen guys go from Harrell and be drafted or make it to the pros and make a name for themselves. Right? So they know that if they ball out on defense here at ECU, they can do that. And still get paid and not have to have the season that some of the guys that left last year that ended up at P4 programs and honestly pissed away their career. Didn't have the years that they probably could have had at ECU, riding the bench on a 2-10 team, whether it's Virginia Tech or Carolina. There's several of them at both those schools that didn't really do anything. Now, what's going to be interesting, Artie, and I don't mean to be on a monologue here, what do we do on defense at defensive coordinator? I've got a name I like. It'll be interesting to see if we can pick him up. But I want to hear your thoughts.
What's the name you got?
I really like the idea of going after that Tulane defensive coordinator.
Greg Esperado?
Yeah.
Yeah. If we can get him, I concur. That's the name that I would like. Look, to me, it's still going to be a Harrell regime. Now, the guy that comes in, I do think if it's a guy like Greg Esperado, I think Harrell will probably give him a little bit more leeway than he was giving in Aldridge when he was here. However, I'm not too worried because I know that is what Harrell specializes in. He's never going to get too far away from what he specializes in. It doesn't matter that he's the head coach. His specialty is defense. He's never going to be that far away from understanding and realizing what's going on. So I'd like us having a competent and competitive defense. I'm not really worried about. Now, us having the kind of defense that we've been accustomed to over the last 2 to 3 to 4 years, maybe not. I mean, we legit had the best defense in the conference, and there were times that we kind of took our foot off the gas when we didn't have to, when we shouldn't have, because the defense could have been even better than what it was had we not taken our foot off the gas in some of these games that we did. So I'm not really worried about having that competent, competitive defense. I do like the Greg name out of Tulane if we can get him. But I'm with you on the offense. I'm curious about the offense. I'm curious about the hire of Davis. The fact that he knows a complicated, complex offense and is a disciple of Eric Moore's, that does make me happy. He knows offense. It's not like he doesn't know offense. It's not like he's not going to have not know how to, initiate an offense. But calling those plays, being a first-time play caller, actually being in the trenches, that's a lot different. And not having that kind of crutch that you have in someone like Eric Moore's that he's always had at his side, that's going to be a little different. But defensive-wise, I'm not too worried. It's the offense that I'm like, how do we bounce back next year? I think defensively we'll probably be somewhere, and we won't be top 3, but we'll probably be maybe top 7, top 8. I think we'll regress to the mean a little bit, but offensively is where I'm worried.
Josh, you look like you wanted to say something there for a second, but I wanted to give you a chance to. Now he's shaking his head now. Yeah, I'm not as concerned about the defense. The offense,
just in terms of being competitive, I'm not saying they're going to be great, but I know they're going to be competent. I'm worried if our offense can be competent going into next season with everything that we've lost and starting over fresh.
I think at least this first year, it wouldn't surprise me if Davis stays or keeps a lot of the coaching staff together on offense. I think it would be smart to keep Coach Matt Maddox on the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what this means for Coach Roberts, who I know at times in the group chat we were talking, hey, does he have the opportunity to be the offensive coordinator here? I didn't think it was really in the cards for him this time around, but it not saying that it's not there down the road. Dude is a hell of a recruiter. If you can keep him by any means possible, you try to retain him as best as you can.
Yeah.
That is your star on the offensive side of the ball. As far as coaching, that's your guy. If you can find a way to keep him and retain him and pay him, that's, to me, he's the most he's the most like dire retention that we need. And you're probably gonna have to hire a quarterback's coach now.
Yeah.
Josh, what's up?
I'll say this: Eric Morris was not a quarterback's coach until he was an OC, basically until he started calling plays. So, in my opinion, it's not that big of a transition, especially if you bring in a guy that you're comfortable with, that you got a good relationship with, and somebody that you can build one with. And I think Roberts being wide receivers coach, this kind of might even propel him into being that ECU figure that's here for a decade across multiple OCs and then becomes the OC himself before.
The Roy Tesh of offense.
Literally, the Roy Tesh of offense. Or I forgot the coach that we had for like 30 years that ended up leaving with under Coach Mo. I forgot his name, but he was special teams coach for forever. Those kind of guys like Coach Shank, like just guys like that just stick around the program. I think Coach Roberts could do it.
For offensive or for quarterback coach, but I thought I don't want all the people watching at home to have an aneurysm. I was gonna say,
Holton?
What's that? No,
Holton.
No. the brain dads at home saying that him or Shane should be the next offensive coordinator are absolutely out to lunch. You just don't understand college football if that's what you're saying. I get it, but no, I was gonna say DK Donnie K. Knows the program. I mean, your quarterback coach isn't really doing anything. Good motivator.
I think it could work.
I feel like
I think it could. I think it could if he's literally just a quarterback's coach.
Yeah,
and he's just a mechanics and footwork guy.
Yeah,
tells good stories in the meeting room. I think for culture purposes, especially understanding Blake Harrell's culture in the program, it makes sense. Actually, it does make sense.
I think like if they are going to go the route of hiring a quarterback's coach, I think he's there to be had. I'd kick those tires.
Artie hates this idea. This is Artie's never heard a worse idea in his life.
It's just like, hey, we thought you were ugly a couple years ago. We broke up with you, but you want to come back with us and just, take it.
I mean, the amount of times though that like he's been here multiple times in different roles.
He himself was a wide receivers coach that ended up being an offensive coordinator
Yeah,
and a quarterbacks coach. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, It works its way.
I do like the idea.
He's
If we
not a
can
good
get
mind.
Davis,
Be a good fit for 2025. Is Donnie K in his age?
Yeah.
Still good at 2025 with this modern college football. No matter what position he has, outside of specialty consultant to the head coach. Like,
Storytelling has no limits. That alone will carry him for the next 2 decades as a coach.
and look, I'm not someone who doesn't disrespect. Like, I love and respect Donnie K. I ain't trying to disrespect Donnie K.
Artie, you're talking about a friend of the podcast right now.
I know I'm talking about a friend of the podcast.
My question is, does he enjoy going to other games more than being at ECU football games?
Is he going to other games?
Yeah, he went. I'm pretty sure he went to Louisville this year. I think he been to a couple of games. I'm pretty sure, just out and about, seeing friends.
He's out there golfing whenever he wants, enjoying retirement. Does he really want this grind again?
Yeah, but that's just being the quarterback coach. That's not really a grind. Like I see Coach Shank in the press box. Like he looks like he's just having the time of his life, walking around up there, getting himself another hamburger. Get himself a
problem. Stop getting the hamburgers. I need you to grind.
no.
I need you to grind.
I mean, he was instrumental in bringing in one of our quarterbacks. It's gonna maybe still be in the program next year. As of right now,
I am curious. Do you think any of the guys in the building right now have a chance, like a Ditta, or any of these other guys going forward, or you think we got to bring that guy from somewhere else?
I think in the world of college football and the transfer portal and NIL, I hate what I'm about to say. The development of young athletes is
kind of gone.
The need to develop athletes is less.
Yeah.
Because okay, I'm going to put all these resources into a kid to develop them. And then a year, 2 years later, they're going to be on to the next big thing.
It's just a 1 year. It's kind of like just a 1 year mercenary for hire thing now. It's not a 3 to 4 year build. It's not a slow burn.
It's not a Shane Carter. It's not a whole Nailers that you're bringing in. Okay, this is our guy. We're trying to make sure we're being careful with his red shirts. We're being careful with how we use him, when he's getting snaps, so on and so forth. We need to win, and we need to be the best team in the conference year in and year out. And if you're not doing that, you're not going to compete long term. So I think anybody that you recruit out of high school, you've got to. Now, I'm not saying that Ditta's not going to be the guy. He very well could be, but looking at the message boards, nobody wants a starting quarterback next year that hasn't started at least the FCS level, right? He hasn't started. And I know at some point you got to get those reps.
Yeah.
And he's come into games this year, but he hasn't actually seen real game speed. I'm not saying a quarterback from the FCS has seen FBS speed, but it's much closer than you would think, right? And
especially the guys at the FCS level, that at the top of the FCS level,
right? So it'll just be interesting to see what they're able to do. I don't know. I think Ditta and Hodge will still be here. My guess is Cheater's got to be gone. but I've said that I think the last 2-3 years at this point. I feel like I've written off Jeter, and he just keeps coming back. But I think at every level of FBS, you've got to have an experienced quarterback coming in. And it's one of those things where the P4 has developed this mindset, and you're going to have to start seeing it in the G6 as well. Of we're not offering kids NIL money out of high school unless you're like an absolute stud. We're just going to spend it on the portal and not waste our time working on development. Let's go get us a proven commodity.
Yeah, I concur. I agree.
I mean, I would like to hear both of your thoughts on that. Like, do you think that that's where we're headed?
I think that's where we're already at. As far as development in terms of modern college football, because you've got a mindset now where as soon as you develop a guy and he gets just good enough, he is going to move on and go somewhere else. Like, you don't want to put all these resources and all this money and all this in stock into a guy that eventually a year to 2 years from now, he is likely going. That's just what the mindset is. That's just what the culture is in college football. So going out and getting these ready-made products in the portal instead of having to develop, which I think is at a detriment to college football, to be honest with you. I think developing is going, just like AAU is with basketball sometimes, as a detriment, in where these guys are not actually being developed in college where they need to be developed, and they're just coming out being one and dones and going to the pros, and they're not no good. But that's a story for another day. But I agree. I think the lack of development is a detriment, but I do think that's where college football is going towards.
I personally don't even think that there is a such thing as a lack of development. I think that before, each freshman that came in could be a 4-year project. And at this point, it's just a matter of, do you take on those 4-year projects, or after that freshman year, when they didn't see any second team reps in practice, they were scout team only, do you say, all right, man, we got a whole another crop of guys that can be scout team guys. You want to be a second year scout team guy, or you want to go to another level? And those are the ones that transfer out pretty quickly after that first year. The ones that are stars that can compete at your level are the ones like your Jamali Riddles, your McCrimmons that get in, be all conference players in their second year. To me, it's like that. That's the development that's occurring, is that they come in as a solid freshman. They get some playing time, and then that second year they're starter or second team still. That third year they're starter, and then they can go on. And I think that's what positive development looks like to me. So when I see guys like Caton's not as much, but when I see guys like Yannick going to the portal, I see guys like Javante Connor going to the portal. It's like, hey, you gave us 2 years, you developed. You aren't the guy that you were when you came in as a freshman, and you're leaving here a much better player, and that is the development that we were able to give you. If you would have stayed for 2 more years, got your degree here, XYZ, you're at a totally different level of atmosphere and what we talk about you and your legacy. But does legacy really matter when the ultimate goal is to have an NFL legacy for a lot of these guys? And so I think it's just a balance for me, and I feel like that's what we think of as development has to just change into that mindset.
But a lot of these guys, are they even, because I get what you're saying as far as the NFL trajectory, but a lot of these guys, if we call them a spade, they don't have an NFL career. Like, they think they're about to go to greener pastures, but they don't actually have that in them. It's not in them. So, but I know that's the topic for another day too.
No, but I think that is directly linked to, was it development, or was it that the coaches were able to use you in their system and make you a good player? And so that's where it's one of those things where hey, Javante Connor, I don't think he's a bad player at all. I'm not going to say anything negative about the young man, but if he does go to a Miami and Ole Miss, is he starting next year? Is he riding the bench for a year? Like, huh?
I said, look at Shane Calhoun 2 years ago.
Right. Like stud guy here.
Look at Isaiah Brown Murray. These guys left, went off to greener pastures. These are the guys I was talking about. Out of all the guys that transferred last year, the guy that still probably ended up having the best season out of them all was Chase Sowell, who's now going to Penn State, and that absolute dumpster fire that it can occurred this year with them. But he's going to Penn State.
Is that official?
I'm pretty sure. I thought I saw that he was, but he was in the portal again after his dad. And you want to talk about walk the point. After his dad was talking about talking shit to people jumping in the portal and whatnot. I was like, dude, your dad. I saw your dad. Your kid's been in the portal 4 times. What do you you talk about being loyal, dude? No, that's not loyalty. But 32 receptions for 500 yards and a couple touchdowns, handful of touchdowns. Not even a handful, 2 fingers worth of touchdowns. That's your best transfer out this past year?
Gavin Gibson had a good year. I'm pretty sure he started all 12. What was the team good? No, but I think Gavin Gibson at UNC.
But also he's not. He had transferred because he was one of the ones that transferred from Carolina to ECU and then back to Carolina. But still, overall, the counting metrics, those numbers really just aren't there for a lot of these guys like they would have been had they just stayed at ECU and balled out. Now, granted, ECU was able to replenish, especially on the defensive side of the ball, pretty quickly. And I don't think we even took a step back. If anything, I think we were a better defense this past year than in the previous year. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Is it baseball season yet?
I don't know. Just for baseball to give us heartache too.
This is the year, Artie. This is the year. All right. Before we go into gambling corner or walk the point, I wanted to ask. It's Christmas. What is on your Christmas wish list for ECU right now? What are you asking Santa for? And feel free to throw it in the comments or tweet at us what you're wishing for when you hear this. Josh, Artie, what are you wishing
What's
for?
on the wish list?
Just ECU athletics.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We went 6-2 in the conference this year, 8-4 overall. I know we're about to be in a rebuild, at least a little mini rebuild. But I would ask, can we within the next 3 years compete and play in an American Conference championship game? That's what
You said in the next how many years?
3 years.
3.
I think it's sooner than that, to be honest with you.
I'm trying to be reasonable. I'm trying to be.
That's fair.
Within the next 3 years, can we get to an American Conference championship game?
There's a lot of moving pieces in this conference. A lot of the top end is gone from a coaching staff perspective. You're going to see a lot of the top end talent leaving as well. Now, I know Tulane's going to have the NIL money and the payout money, the rev share from the college football playoff, which is going to be fantastic for them. I'm hard pressed to see Tulane being where they were this year, next year.
Mm-hmm.
Not crazy about their head coach hire. USF is interesting, but I mean, they're losing a ton of talent as well. They've still got a lot of the NIL. Memphis is going to be good, but and Huff has a history of turning around teams pretty quickly. We'll see what he's able to do at Memphis. Can he do what Silverfield was never able to do and use that NIL money to actually like make a conference championship game and even compete in one? You got Navy with Horvath going into like being active duty. There's a lot going on in this conference. The team that can be as the most efficient and replenish, I think that'll be fine. I think there's going to be a lot of continuity on this defense. It's just getting Eric Morris, top offensive coordinator in the conference this past year. Albeit he wasn't calling plays. He's now your offensive coordinator. Right? Let him put his system in. Let him put his guys in. I like where we're going. But I like your wish. Santa, if I was Santa, I would give you your wish, Hardy. Josh, what are you wishing for?
I wish for 5-star basketball players over the next 4 seasons.
Over the next 150 years.
Over the next 4 seasons for our ECU women's basketball team.
Josh, you gotta be realistic, man. He's gotta be realistic.
Yeah, Josh. Something that like we can actually be like, yeah, this could happen.
Shoot for the moon, land among the stars. All I've got to say is
I'll give you 2-3 stars and
over the next 4 years.
And we'll give you 2-3 stars and a walk on from like Kinston.
Look, if you don't have a men's team, you can put all that to the women's team and become a power, a true power.
No.
Look, I really wouldn't be opposed to that though. If our women's basketball team could actually become a power, I'd get rid of the men's team. I'm cool with it. But
think about using the budget of both basketball teams on just the women's team. Like there's already a disparity.
Or just put that money back to put that money either into baseball or put it into football.
It's not going to help in baseball, and it's barely going to help in football.
Yeah, but like
you are in a breadbasket of women's basketball in Eastern North Carolina. Really, basketball in general, but
yeah, I was about to say
really basketball in general. But at this point, we have to ignore men's basketball in Eastern North Carolina because ECU obviously doesn't know how to get a shoe in any of those doors.
The fact that like we still have so many alumni talking about how this coaching staff doesn't reach out to them, even in the local communities, where like we have ECU alumni basketball, like coaching high schools in Eastern North Carolina, and they're like, yeah, we try to like come to games and they just don't respond. Like I've seen 3 or 4 of those stories in the last month. I don't know what we're doing, but now we'll go get another big from some foreign country that, like, I don't know.
Josh's wish.
Wimby 16.2. We're getting Wimby 16.2.
Remember what Taco Fall did for UCF?
Hey, beat us in the first round of the conference tournament that year. I was there. This can't be a bad wish, Jared.
I just won't allow it. But that's not going to happen.
What?
I said I just wouldn't. I wouldn't want that to happen. Like I feel dirty just going football, like greedy just going for football.
You can't say go to Omaha. That's played out.
Exactly. I just want. I'm not even saying like fund basketball. Like honestly, defund basketball. Y'all should be, like we should be protesting that right now. But give me a coaching staff that's competent and willing to recruit Eastern North Carolina, even if you're not getting the top guys out of Eastern North Carolina. Like Josh said, Eastern North Carolina is a hotbed of talent. That's why, maybe it's not still, but isn't Kinston like still the number one for like NBA players per capita in the United States? Like, what are we doing? I'm not saying all those guys need to come to ECU, but even if their backups come to ECU, like that's probably still better than what we're getting at ECU right now. But no, we're not even going after these guys, and then they're going to some lower level team and not getting an opportunity anywhere in the state, and then they transfer somewhere else when they're actually proven in NCAA, and they're like, oh yeah, now I'm going to transfer to a Villanova, to a Syracuse, wherever. They're transferring to a big time school, and then you're still like, oh well, now we're going to recruit you now that you're successful in the NCAA. No, recruit these kids out of high school. Like that's my wish. Just do better. This coaching staff needs to do better. Honestly, we probably just need a new coaching staff at this point. But I don't have the brain power to actually think through who the hell would want this job. I don't know anybody that would want this job. You're not getting anybody from around the state. You're the worst, one of the worst basketball programs in the state. I don't know.
Kevin Keats could do the funniest thing though.
I when I saw him at the ECU UNCW game, I thought that would be hilarious. I don't know what his buyout is at NC State though. I don't want to have to be on the hook for any of that.
If we would just have to offset, it wouldn't even be a real buyout.
He just works for us as a volunteer head coach. Can you do that? Is that a thing?
No, it's not a thing.
What's different from what Mike Houston's doing to that?
Mike Houston's not the head coach.
He's still on the staff. He's still volunteering. Still collecting a paycheck from ECU. All right. I don't have a walk the plank. I'm pissed off at everybody. If you're listening to this, I'm not pissed off to you. But if you're not, I'm probably pissed off at you. I'm pissed off at Artie. Just because. Josh, TBD.
No walk the plank. I've got to go to work.
All right. Gambling corner.
Gambling corner. First game.
Here, boys.
First game on Saturday. We're only doing Saturday games because that's all that matters. Pitt versus ECU.
Wait,
I believe
this
ECU.
one first. No.
No, we have to. It's the first game of the day.
That's not how we do this, Josh.
It's the first game of the day.
It's not how we do this.
All right, we're gonna go
I'm not here to
reverse
tell you
order.
how to produce this show. It's not how we do this.
All right. So
Next.
last game of the day. North Texas, San Diego State University. only a 3.5 point spread. The American Conference loser versus San Diego State. Who knows what they did in the Mountain West? Nobody, because nobody watches it. Let's see. I got to go San Diego State just off the strength that North Texas doesn't have any. I actually, North Texas might have everybody. Who knows? They don't have Eric Morris.
Oh, actually, I think he said he's going to play.
Quarterback might play, but Morris is officially out.
Yeah, Morris is Davis is coaching.
Davis is coaching. Yes, he's calling plays for the first time.
Honestly, I may be more interested in this game than I am the ECU Pitt game.
Yeah, because we get to see what our offense might look like because he's calling plays for the first time.
And you might see some guys that, hey, they can't afford to keep in Denton that maybe we want in Greenville. Just saying. Give me for that reason, I'm going to take San Diego State. Basically, the whole coaching staff is gone outside of Davis, who's already got his foot out the door. Feel like this is kind of a letdown for North Texas. I mean, you finished in the top 25, and you're having to play San Diego State in a bowl game that you were expecting to. I mean, I'm using the whole talking point that P4 schools use all the time when they have to play us. I'm using the same one Pitt fans were using when they were talking about playing us, but also you don't have any of your coaches. So give me San Diego State.
North Texas covers.
Easy. Next up, we've got Georgia Tech versus BYU in the Pop-Tarts Bowl, the biggest bowl outside of the playoff. Georgia Tech 4.5 point dogs. BYU minus 192 outright. Remember, Georgia Tech has lost all of their offensive coaching staff, basically.
The quarterback, too.
Haynes King not playing? Is that another thing? King's not playing?
I thought I saw that he wasn't, but
that I mean that's going to decide who I pick in this game, whether or not Haynes King plays. So
maybe I got, but no. Either way, they could have. I don't know. I'm gonna take BYU here. I like BYU here. Sataki staying after being offered a bunch of money from Penn State, deciding to stay at BYU. Seems like you've retained a lot of your guys already. Yeah, you missed out on the playoff, but I like BYU, and I like them to cover.
Yeah, I agree with you. BYU, especially if King's not going to play. And if King doesn't play, they're going to blow Georgia Tech out. So give me BYU and BYU to cover.
Yeah, BYU probably cover as well. Yeah. Next up, we've got the Pinstripes. Penn State versus Clemson. The battle for the worst outcome against your expectations. Penn State is a 3-point dog. Somehow Clemson still being looked at favorably by the books. I'm going to go Penn State on this one. Just because never go for Dabo or never go for Dabo.
These were two preseason top 4 teams at the beginning of the season. That's absolutely wild. I'm actually going to go Clemson. I'm going to go Clemson. Yeah, I'm going to take Clemson to cover. I think they pull this one out against Penn State.
Honestly, kind of hope both of them lose. But no, I don't give two shits about either of them. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take Clemson to win and cover.
All right. And with that, we've got the other school on the other side of Pennsylvania. I'm joking. They're right beside each other. Pitt versus ECU. Pitt is a 10-point favorite now. ECU's plus 275 outright. This was pretty easy for me. Pitt to win, Pitt to cover. And this is only for more motivation for our guys.
Facts. Yeah, this matchup is not as exciting as I would hope for it or like for it to be. So I am going to go Pitt, and I'm going to go Pitt to cover in this game.
Unless Mike Wright has a legendary performance, or Chaston Ditta proves that, hey, no need to bring in another quarterback. I'm your guy. I don't know that it's going to be very pretty in Annapolis. I hope that I'm wrong. As I said earlier, all this happening 2 weeks before the game has allowed me to temper my expectations and allow for me to just enjoy what comes of it Saturday. I hope these guys enjoy it in Annapolis when they get there tomorrow. But right now I'm on to building what's next. I don't think the guys in that locker room have that same mentality. But I'm going to say take the under, Pitt to cover. Hate to say it on the last one. And hey, Coach Harrell, play this in the locker room. Show that none of us have any faith in them right now. It's not that we don't have faith in their ability. It's just so much going against them. If you want to use this, put this on the bulletin board. I'm all for it. All right. That's episode 267 of the Boneyard Podcast.
Jared, that better be the last time you do that.
Just episode 367 already. We got to get there. You think you got another 100 in you?
It's a long ways away. Long ways away.
Episode 267 of the Boneyard Podcast. Once again, brought to you by Roback. Boneyard 20% off, roback.com. Can't say that you're going to get anything before Christmas, but you can at least go on there. Maybe you forgot to get your dad something. Maybe you forgot to get your husband something. Whoever, your brother, brother-in-law, your coworker, go to Roback, get them something, and you can say, hey, sorry, meant to bring this or give it to you earlier, but just came in. 20% off. Subscribe, follow us at Boneyard Podcast. Subscribe to YouTube, Apple, wherever you listen to your podcast. And then subscribe on YouTube. Hit that notification bell. If you don't, tell them what to do, Artie.
Walk the damn plank.
All right. That's all I got, Pine Nation. We love you. We hope that you have a safe and fun and warm Merry Christmas. Until next time, Pine Nation, we're out.
Hey, Merry Christmas, Pirate Nation. Don't forget to wash your hands, wash your butts during Christmas. Deuce.
Go damn Pirates.